Alrighty, we're going to be installing a GFI receptacle in a box that does not have a GFI and it's not protected by a GFI. And we're going to put a universal cover on it, this here. It can be mounted horizontally like this, or it can be mounted vertically like this. So here in the country I was born in, we use a 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps, 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps. Black is live, white is neutral, the bare of the green is the ground. Red and blue are also live colors. However, you may find white live in a switch loop or a 240 volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral. So I'll show you how to install this GFI receptacle as an upgrade. Okay, so first we'll take our cover off the outlet. This is just a standard outlet that's not on a GFI breaker anywhere in the house. So we're going to just save it though. And we'll save our gasket here, because we can use this on another outlet that is GFI protected inside the house. So we'll save it. And never put keys or anything behind an outlet, because if you happen to reach in and touch them and touch something grounded, that would be dangerous. So we'll take those out of there. We'll unscrew our outlet from the box. Leave them in there. And we'll save our outlet, because we can put it in the house or somewhere else. I do have the breaker off inside. So that's our white, which is the neutral. The spare wire is our ground. Okay, so we got our outlet disconnected. Here in the country I was born in, our outlets are polarized. Your black wire goes on the brass screw, which is the narrow slot. That's this wire. The white wire goes on your silver screw, which is your wider slot. And your bare green wire always goes on this green screw, and that goes to the ground. So this is our GFI receptacle here. It has brass for live, silver for neutral, and you'll notice on the back here it will say line and it will say load. Load is for protecting outlets that are downstream, so we'll just close those screws we're not going to be using. We'll clip our wires off, and we'll start with new fresh strips here. get them the same length. We'll straighten our ground wire out. Make sure our wires are straight here on the end. So we're going to put our black, since there's no load, we're going to be only hooking up to the side that says line. So we're going to strip our black and white, and you're allowed to put 2 wires under one terminal here because you have 2 holes here. So we'll get our wires stripped. And you can see the wire sizes on our wire strippers here. So we'll strip our wires with our 14 gauge hole. Now hold it up to our device to make sure our stripping is long enough to get it under the pressure plate. See how that's a little short there? It's not going to go under all the way. So I'm going to strip that a little longer. Okay, I'll hold it up here again just to check our strip length. Okay, that one's still a little short. Let's look at this one. Okay, I'm going to take a little more off both of these here. Okay, there's that one. Take a little more off of that one. Okay, now we'll hold them up. Now that's a good length there. And that's a good length there. So now we can we'll straighten our wires so we get a nice even pressure on the wire all the way through. Okay, so we closed the load side since we're not hooking anything up on our load side here. And we'll put our black line, our black, under either one of these 2 holes for the line. And see how the insulation goes right down to the bottom of the plastic? That's what we want. So we'll put it in the hole. Make sure it's nice and tight like that. We'll turn it this way. We'll put our white under the silver colored terminal here like this. And we'll tighten that one up. Push down in, make sure it's in the hole all the way here. Make sure it's nice and tight like that. And now we'll put our ground under our pressure plate. Okay, you can see that little pressure plate moving under there. So we'll put our ground wire up, get it up, see it's up at the top there. And we'll close it down here. Okay, we'll tighten it up. And there's how to wire the GFI receptacle. Now we're ready to put it into our box. Now some people like to put some tape around the terminals, but you don't have to do that, but some people do it. But it's nice to see it's made here in the country I was born in. That's a nice thing to see. But this is a plastic box and we don't have to tape it. Okay, so now we can fold this to go into our box. Our ground wire is going to stay back away from everything here. And make sure. I'll get our screw started here. Push it back. Make sure that ground wire stays back away from everything there. Put our other screw in here. Okay, we're going to scrape off this caulk that was on here before, so we'll just scrape this off. We can just pull it all off like that. So we get a nice seal with our new cover. Okay, so this is the cover we're going to be putting on it. So when you mount it horizontally here, see here it says vertical or horizontal, that's horizontal. You want to make sure that this little thing for the, if you're going to lock it, it's on the bottom rather than on the top. Now this cover comes with inserts here for either a light switch or a standard outlet, and we're using the GFI. So we're using this one here. So we got to get our foam out of the package here. So there's the foam gasket. So we'll take our screws back out here. Put one in here. Take this one out. Put foam here. Okay, we'll get our two screws started here. And on the inside of the cover, you'll see the notch that can go over the screw head. So you just put it in at an angle and straighten it, and then it'll go flat on the device. So we're going to make sure that this is facing down, like this. We'll put our one screw here, one screw up here, seat it down like that. And now we'll just tighten our screws. And see the foam flattening down around it? That's what you want, because that's meaning it's going on nice and tight. Close it. Let's see if I can tighten it with the cover on, and I can. And I see the foam closing up around, tightening up around our device. Okay, so I have to take a piece, the piece that goes around the front of the GFI off of this so that the outside seal seals around everything. And there it is. And that is how to install a GFI receptacle where there was no GFI protection. Peace. Thanks for watching. I'll show you the instructions with the packaging that came with the cover. And here is one side, and I'll show you the other side.